Space was silent, cold, endless. Only the hum of dying stars filled the void. For 200 years, no human voice had been heard across the galaxy. Until tonight. A weak transmission broke through the static, a sound older than any memory. If anyone can hear this, Earth has fallen. The message played again and again, lost in the black sea of space. Most scanners ignored it. It was too old, too weak, too impossible. But one ship caught the signal. The Galactic Union patrol vessel Orion was making its usual route through the outer sectors. Commander Rin Voss, a tall alien with dark blue skin and silver eyes, stared at the flickering monitor. "Repeat that," he ordered. The ship's AI replayed the message. The crew fell silent. Lieutenant Kira, a young reptilian officer, looked up. "That's human language, sir." Rin frowned. "Humans are extinct. Have been for 2 centuries. Then how is there a human signal?" No one answered. The signal came from sectors 8 and 9, a dead zone where planets had turned to ice after their sun collapsed. Rin made his decision. "Set course to 8 and 9. We're checking it." The crew hesitated. That sector was cursed. Ships entered but never returned. But the commander's voice left no room for argument. The Orion entered hyperspace. The planet was a frozen grave. Thick clouds covered the sky, and icy mountains rose like broken teeth. The scanners showed no life, only one point of energy, deep under the surface. The team landed on the snow-covered ground. Their boots crunched on ice that had not been touched for centuries. "Signals coming from below," Kira said. They used plasma drills to open a passage into the ice. What they found beneath left them speechless. A metal chamber, old, rusted, but still active. In the center was a cryopod. Its glass was frosted over. A faint light blinked on the side. Status: alive. Rin stared. Impossible. Inside the pod lay a man. Pale skin. Brown hair. A human. "Open it," Rin ordered. The system hissed and released steam. The glass slid open slowly. The man's chest moved a breath. Then another. His eyes opened. Blue. Sharp. Searching. He coughed and tried to sit up. The crew stepped back, weapons ready. "Where am I?" the man said, his voice dry and weak. Rin stepped forward. "You're safe. You're on an exploration vessel of the Galactic Union. Identify yourself." The man looked confused. "Union? Never heard of it." He blinked. "I was on Earth. We were at war." He tried to stand but stumbled. Rin caught his arm. "Easy. What's your name?" "Captain Ryan Cole. United Earth Defense Forces." The name echoed through the ship's comms. For the first time in 200 years, a human was alive. They brought him aboard the Orion. Medical scanners struggled to read his biology. His DNA was partly human, partly something else. "Commander," Kira said, eyes wide, "his cells are changing. It's like, adapting." Rin frowned. "To what?" "No idea." Ryan woke up in the med bay. The walls glowed softly, filled with alien tech he didn't understand. He sat up, holding his head. "What year is it?" he asked. Rin hesitated. "It's Galactic Standard Year 4210. Ryan's eyes widened. "That's impossible. The year should be 4010. I was in cryosleep." "Yes," Rin said. "For 200 years. Ryan's mind raced. The last thing he remembered, the sky burning over Mars, ships exploding, Earth's final transmission. He looked at Rin. "Who won the war?" Rin's silence was the answer. Ryan lowered his head. "Earth was gone. Humanity was gone. He was alone." Later, As the Orin orbited the frozen planet, strange things began to happen. The ship's power flickered. Systems glitched. A deep hum echoed from the planet below. "Commander," Kira said, "the planet's core is activating. There's energy building up." Rin turned to Ryan. "What did you do down there?" Ryan shook his head. "Nothing. The pod, it just opened." But the readings didn't lie. The moment Ryan woke up, something ancient inside the planet had awakened too. The sensors picked up a pulse, a wave of unknown energy moving through space. It was sending a signal. "Can you decode it?" Rin asked. Kira's eyes widened as the translation came through. "The human legacy reawakens." The lights dimmed. Alarms blared. Ryan stood still, staring out the window as the planet's crust began to crack with red light. "What is this place?" he whispered. No one answered. The ship shook violently. Energy from the planet surged into space, wrapping around the Orin like a storm. Rin shouted, "Shields up! Pull us out of orbit!" But before they could escape, the ship's screens filled with symbols, human military codes from 2 centuries ago. The computer spoke in an old, static-filled voice. "Project Phoenix, status, reactivation complete." Ryan felt a chill down his spine. He knew that name. Phoenix. The last human project before the fall. He whispered, "No, that can't be real." The entire crew turned to him. "What is Project Phoenix?" Rin demanded. Ryan looked up slowly. "It was Earth's last hope. A weapon we never finished." The planet below started to glow brighter, as if something alive was waking beneath the ice. Rin shouted, "Get us out of here now." The ship jumped to hyperspace, but not before Ryan saw one final flash through the viewport. A human symbol, a burning bird rising from the frozen surface. Inside the silence of space, Ryan Cole sat alone, staring at his reflection in the glass. For the first time in 2 centuries, a human heart beat again. And somewhere, something ancient answered that heartbeat. Project Phoenix, Phase 1 begin. The Orin drifted through space, engines silent, as the crew tried to understand what had happened on that frozen planet. The air inside the ship felt heavy, tense. No one spoke much. Every eye found its way back to the same place, the med bay, where the human sat. Captain Ryan Cole. The man who shouldn't exist. He was alive, breathing, walking, and yet, every test said his body was impossible. His cells were stronger than they should be. His reflexes were too sharp. His blood reacted strangely to alien air. It was as if time itself had changed him. Commander Rin Voss watched through the glass window. Ryan sat quietly on the bed, eyes distant, staring at nothing. Rin spoke to the ship's medic. "He's been awake for 12 hours. Still no memory of what triggered the signal." The medic shook his head. "Only fragments. Battles, fire, earth burning. He remembers a project called Phoenix. Then nothing." Rin folded his arms. "Keep him under observation. No comms access. No weapons." The medic nodded and walked away. Rin stayed for a moment longer, studying the human. "Why now?" he thought. "Why him?" Inside the med bay, Ryan looked at his reflection in the glass. His face was older than he remembered. His eyes glowed faintly, maybe the light, maybe something else. He didn't feel fully human anymore. A voice came from behind. "You're lucky they didn't space you the moment you woke up." Ryan turned. It was Dr. Lyra Quinn, the ship's chief scientist. She was young, sharp-eyed, with gray skin and white hair that shimmered under the light. "I'm guessing you're the friendly one," Ryan said, half smiling. She gave a small shrug. "Curious, maybe. Friendly depends on how dangerous you are." Ryan looked at the scanners around him. "You think I'm dangerous?" Lyra met his gaze. You shouldn't even be alive. Humans were wiped out during the War of Erasure. The Galactic Union made sure of it. Ryan frowned. The Union fought against us. She nodded slowly. They said humans were unstable. Too emotional. Too violent. After Earth fell, the Union erased all records. No one talks about your kind anymore. Ryan clenched his fists. And yet here I am. Yes, she said softly. And that scares them. Hours later, the Orin arrived at the Union Central Station, a massive ring of metal floating above a red planet. Thousands of ships surrounded it. The crew felt small entering its shadow. Ryan was taken off the ship under heavy guard. Alien soldiers aimed weapons as he walked through the halls. Everyone stared not with curiosity, but fear. He was the ghost of a forgotten war. They placed him in a glass cell for observation. Scientists from across the galaxy came to see him measuring, scanning, whispering. To them, he wasn't a person. He was a relic. Lyra visited him every day. She brought him data pads filled with old files, fragments of human history the Union had tried to delete. Ryan read them silently: the fall of Mars, the Battle of Sol, the Erasure Order. Each page was a knife. Finally, he looked up at her. Why are you showing me this? Lyra hesitated. Because the Union lied. They said humans started the war. But these files say something else. They feared what humanity might become. Ryan's jaw tightened. They were right to fear us, but not for the reason they think. That night, alarms blared through the station. Systems flickered. The central database began to glitch. Security rushed through corridors. In the control room, Rin shouted, "What's going on?" "Unknown code breach," a technician yelled. "Originating from the human cell." Rin ran to the screen. Symbols flashed across it: human military encryption, 200 years old. No one had those codes anymore. He ordered, "Shut it down. Now." But before anyone could act, the station's holographic projectors came to life. A blue figure appeared in the air, a hologram of a human soldier, armor shining, face hidden under a helmet. Its voice echoed through the halls. "To all surviving colonies, the time has come. The human legion will rise." Then the hologram vanished. Silence. Every alien in the room turned toward Rin. His eyes met Lyra's. They both knew the message came from Ryan Cole's cell. Rin and Lyra rushed there. The door opened with a hiss. Ryan stood calmly in the center of the room, eyes glowing faintly. The lights flickered around him. "What did you do?" Rin demanded. Ryan looked at him. "I didn't send that message." "Then who did?" Ryan hesitated. "Something inside me woke up." Lyra's scanner beeped wildly. "Commander, his body is emitting the same energy we detected on the frozen planet." Rin raised his blaster. "If you're a threat, I'll end this now." Ryan didn't move. "If I was a threat, Commander, you'd already be dead." For a tense moment, no one spoke. Only the hum of the ship filled the silence. Finally, Lyra stepped between them. "Wait. Killing him won't stop this. Whatever's happening, it's bigger than him." Rin lowered his weapon slightly but didn't holster it. Ryan looked down at his hands. "That message, it wasn't me. It was the Phoenix Protocol. It's trying to finish what we started." "Finish what?" Lyra asked. Ryan's voice was calm, but his eyes were cold. "The war." The Union Council immediately ordered Ryan's execution. They feared his existence would trigger rebellion. But Lyra had other plans. She entered his cell late at night, her voice low. "They're coming to kill you. You need to leave now." Ryan looked at her, surprised. "Why help me?" "Because if they're hiding the truth, I want to see it." She pressed a small data crystal into his hand. This holds the location of an old human ship, the Odyssey. It's been drifting for centuries. If anyone knows what Project Phoenix is, it'll be there. Footsteps echoed in the hall. Guards were coming. Ryan smiled faintly. Guess I owe you one. Lyra nodded. Just stay alive, human. The door opened. Alarms screamed. Ryan moved faster than anyone expected. In seconds, he was gone, disappearing into the shadows of the docking bay. Outside the window, a small ship broke away from the station, vanishing into hyperspace. Commander Rin watched from the control deck, his jaw tight. Let him go, he said quietly. Something tells me, we're going to need him. Far away, the stars stretched before Ryan, cold and endless. He set the course for the coordinates Lyra gave him. He didn't know what waited there. But deep down, he felt it. Something was calling to him. Project Phoenix, Phase 2 activate. The small ship drifted through deep space, silent as a shadow. Inside, Captain Ryan Cole sat at the controls, eyes fixed on the stars ahead. Every jump took him farther from the Galactic Union, and closer to the coordinates that Dr. Lyra Quinn had given him. Behind him, the NAV computer beeped softly. Approaching target system, it said in a flat voice. Ryan exhaled. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from something stranger. Since his escape, he had felt energy moving inside him, like electricity under his skin. Sometimes he heard whispers, not voices, but echoes of memories that weren't his. He whispered to himself, what did they do to me? The ship exited hyperspace near a dying red dwarf star. Floating in its orbit was a massive wreck, a human battleship, blackened and silent. The name was still burned across its side. UEDS Odyssey. Ryan stared at it, awe and sadness mixing in his chest. This was one of ours, he said softly. I served under that flag. The Odyssey was old, torn apart by time, but its beacon still pulsed faintly, one beat every 10 seconds, like a heart refusing to stop. He docked carefully and entered through a rusted airlock. The halls were dark, filled with floating dust and silence. His boots echoed against the metal floor. Flashlight beams cut through the dark. Burn marks scarred the walls. Skeletons, old human soldiers, floated gently in zero gravity, still in armor. Ryan paused, hand resting on one helmet. Rest easy, brothers, he whispered. He reached the command deck. The consoles were dead except for one, a terminal flickering with a faint blue light. He brushed away the dust and activated it. The system came alive with a voice that almost sounded human. Captain Ryan Cole. Authentication confirmed. Welcome back. Ryan froze. You know me. I am AI Unit Argo, command system of the Odyssey. Your orders were to return here if Project Phoenix succeeded. Project Phoenix, Ryan murmured. What was it really? Project Phoenix was humanity's final answer to extinction. The lights around him flared. Holographic images filled the air, blue soldiers, tanks, and ships fighting against alien fleets. Ryan watched in silence. The Union betrayed us. They used human technology to build their own empire, then erased Earth to hide the truth. Before the end, your unit created the Phoenix Protocol, designed to preserve a single soldier, encoded with adaptive nanotech, until the time came to restore balance. Ryan stepped back, shock in his eyes. You're saying I was that soldier? Affirmative. You are Project Phoenix. Ryan's breath caught. Images flashed before his eyes, the last battle over Mars, his own ship being hit, the cryopod closing around him. The voices he heard in his dreams weren't just memories. They were the data of billions, the last thoughts of humanity, imprinted inside his mind. He dropped to his knees. You put all of them in me. Their strength. Their will. Their rage. Humanity's soul lives through you. Ryan clenched his fists. The energy inside him pulsed stronger, glowing faintly beneath his skin. Captain Cole, said Argo, the Union still controls the sectors once ruled by Earth. They hold archives of human knowledge. The moment you awakened, their systems began to detect us. They will come. Ryan stood up, determination burning in his eyes. Then let them come. Back at the Galactic Union Central Station, Commander Rinvos and Dr. Lyraquin faced a furious council. 12 alien leaders argued in panic. The human is dangerous, shouted one. He carries a weapon older than our empire, cried another. Rin stepped forward. If you kill him, you may trigger what you fear most. His awakening has already changed things. Power surges, old war machines activating in dead sectors. It's like the galaxy itself is reacting. The council leader hissed. Then we must destroy him before the reaction spreads. Lyra clenched her fists. You don't understand. He didn't start this. You did when you erased his world. The council ignored her. Orders were given. A fleet of Union destroyers prepared to hunt down the human. Back on the Odyssey, alarms blared. Argo's voice echoed. Multiple Union warships inbound. Estimated arrival, 5 minutes. Ryan moved quickly to the control chair. Can this ship still fight? Weapons functional. Engines unstable. But we are not without options. Ryan smirked. Good. Let's give them a welcome. He activated the ship's power core. The Odyssey roared back to life, lights blazing after 200 years of darkness. Energy surged through its hull. Outside, Union ships emerged from hyperspace sleek, silver, and armed to the teeth. Human vessel, surrender, their comms demanded. You are in violation of galactic code. Ryan's voice was calm. This ship was built before your codes. Let's see how it holds up. He fired. Plasma beams ripped through the void, striking the lead cruiser. It exploded in a burst of light. The others opened fire. The Odyssey shook, hull groaning, alarms screaming. Ryan gritted his teeth and pulled the controls. His hands moved like instinct memories of every pilot and soldier inside him guiding each motion. Come on, hold together, he shouted. The AI replied, core overheating. Suggestion, initiate Phoenix mode. Ryan frowned. Phoenix mode. Experimental protocol. It merges pilot and ship. Ryan hesitated for only a second. Do it. Light engulfed him. Nanotech from his veins spread into the console, fusing man and machine. His eyes glowed red. He could feel the ship's engines beating like a heart. His heart. With one command, the Odyssey became something new, faster, alive, deadly. He tore through the enemy fleet, firing with precision, moving like a predator reborn. One by one, the Union ships exploded into fire. When it was over, silence returned. Only wreckage floated among the stars. Ryan's voice, now calm again, whispered, Earth may be gone, but humanity isn't. Argo's voice broke the quiet. Captain, data retrieved from Union ship memory banks. It contains coordinates to the Council's hidden archive. Ryan stared at the glowing stars on his map. That's where their lies live, and where the truth begins. He sat back in the chair. Set a course, Argo. Time to wake the galaxy. Outside, the Odyssey turned, engines burning bright like wings of fire. Project Phoenix, Phase 3 initiate. The galaxy had forgotten the sound of human war. But now, it remembered. For days, reports spread across the stars: Union fleets destroyed, stations burned, soldiers whispering the same name in fear. The human ghost. No one had seen his face. Only the red streak of his ship, the ancient Odyssey, cutting through battle lines like fire through paper. Inside the ship, Captain Ryan Cole stood on the bridge, his reflection glowing in the cracked glass. His body was changing. The nanotech from the Phoenix Protocol had merged deeper with him. He no longer needed food or sleep. His heartbeat matched the hum of the Odyssey's core. The AI voice of Argo spoke softly. Captain, Union transmissions indicate panic across 12 systems. You have become their nightmare. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Good. Let them feel what we felt when Earth burned. He watched the holographic map of the galaxy, red dots marking Union fleets, blue lines tracing human ruins. One name pulsed brighter than all, the archive world where the Union stored every erased record of Earth. That's where we go next, Ryan said. We end their lies. Back at the Galactic Union's Central Command, chaos reigned. Every admiral spoke at once, shouting for reinforcements, blaming one another for the disaster. Council leader Sotrinvale slammed his clawed hand on the table. Enough. He is one man, one relic. How can he destroy our fleets? Commander Rin Voss, standing at the edge of the room, answered calmly. Because he isn't just a man. He's the sum of humanity's will. Every soldier, every scientist, every dream Earth ever had lives in him. Sotrin hissed. Then we'll erase him too. He turned to his officers. Prepare Vortex. We end this ghost once and for all. The room went silent. Everyone knew Vortex. It was the Union's ultimate weapon, a star destroyer, powered by the energy of an artificial sun. On a small, hidden moon, Dr. Lyriquin watched the news feeds in disbelief. Every headline showed the same footage: Union fleets burning, the human ghost rising. She smiled faintly. You really did it, Ryan. But her smile faded when she saw the next report: Union deploys Vortex superweapon. She knew what that meant: entire planets could be erased in seconds. She couldn't just stand by. She began sending secret signals, calling to anyone who doubted the Union's lies. Across the galaxy, rebels listened. Some were alien civilians, others were soldiers tired of the Council's control. A quiet resistance began to form, inspired by one human name. Ryan and Argo arrived near the archive world, a massive planet wrapped in steel and defense satellites. Argo, Ryan said, what's inside? Data banks containing all pre-erasure human records. Coordinates, technology, history, everything the Union stole. Ryan nodded. Then we take it back. The Odyssey entered the planet's orbit. Dozens of defense ships turned to face it. A voice crackled through the comms. Unknown vessel, identify yourself. Ryan answered simply, humanity. Then he fired. Explosions lit the sky. Missiles streaked across the black. The Odyssey moved like a living thing, dodging, striking, vanishing in flashes of light. Argo announced, shields at 40%. Ryan gritted his teeth. Not enough. We need a distraction. One moment, Captain. Argo transmitted a signal. Seconds later, dozens of civilian ships appeared, rebel craft, answering Lyra's call. Phoenix Fleet, said Argo. Volunteers. Inspired by you. Ryan smiled for the first time in years. Then let's make them proud. Together, they stormed the archive world. On the surface, massive towers fell as data cores were ripped from their foundations. Ryan entered the main vault, stepping through fire and smoke. Inside, rows of glowing memory crystals held the truth of Earth: oceans, mountains, families, music. All stolen, all hidden. He placed his hand on the main terminal. The crystals reacted to his DNA, lighting up one by one. Captain Cole, said Argo. Download complete. Humanity's history is restored. Ryan's voice was steady. Broadcast it to the galaxy. Every world deserves to know. Within minutes, billions saw what the Union had buried: the beauty of Earth, the betrayal of the Council, the truth of the Erasure War. Across alien worlds, Riots began. People shouted in the streets. Soldiers refused orders. The Union was crumbling from within. But victory came at a cost. Captain, Argo warned, massive energy surge detected. Vortex is here. Ryan looked out the window and saw it. A ship the size of a moon, glowing like a second sun. Sotrinvale's voice boomed across all channels. Human. Your kind was a disease. Today, the cure is complete. A beam of white light shot from Vortex, hitting the Odyssey. The ship shook violently. Sparks flew. Systems failed. Argo, status. Ryan shouted. Hull breach on decks 4 through 9. Core damage critical. The Odyssey was dying. Ryan's breathing grew heavy. We can't win this head on. There may be one option, said Argo. Overload the Phoenix core. It could destroy Vortex, but it will also destroy us. Ryan stared at the console. The hum of the engines echoed like a heartbeat. He whispered, so be it. But before he could activate the sequence, a transmission came through Lyra's voice. Ryan. Don't do it. I have a plan. I found something in the old archives. The Phoenix core isn't just a bomb. It's a gate. A gate? Ryan asked. Yes. A gateway to the source of its power, something hidden inside a dying star. If you go there, you might survive. Sotrin's voice roared again. You can't run, human. Ryan grinned slightly. Watch me. He pushed the engines to full power. The Odyssey dived into the burning light of a collapsing sun. As the ship entered the star's heart, the systems screamed. Ryan felt his body dissolve into energy, every cell glowing. Captain, said Argo softly, where we're going, there are no maps. Ryan smiled through the blinding light. Then we'll make one. The Odyssey vanished into the core of the star. Behind them, Vortex's beam struck empty space and mist. The war paused, the galaxy watching, unsure if the human ghost had truly perished. But deep inside that dying star, something ancient began to stir, answering the call of the last human. Project Phoenix, final phase awaken. The star burned brighter than ever before. Inside its golden fire, something impossible was happening. The human ship Odyssey, once broken and dying, was alive again. Captain Ryan Cole floated weightless in the heart of the star. His body glowed, made of both flesh and light. He should have been ash, but instead he heard voices, hundreds, thousands of voices echoing softly around him. Ryan, you're not alone. They were human voices. Men, women, children, soldiers, scientists' souls preserved inside the Phoenix core. The last minds of Earth. Ryan whispered, are you, the human core? Yes, the voices said as one. We are what remains. You carried us across time. You are our hand. Ryan felt their strength flow into him, memories of Earth's blue skies, laughter, courage, and pain. The nanotech in his body responded, changing shape, repairing every cell. Your war isn't over, Ryan, the core said. The galaxy must remember who we were. He clenched his fists, light burning through his veins. Then let's finish this. Together. Outside, the dying star exploded, but not in destruction. Instead, it unfolded like wings. From the light rose a new ship, reborn from flame. Sleek, black, and alive with energy, the Phoenix Dreadnought. Its systems pulsed with Ryan's heartbeat. The human core's voices guided him, millions strong. Captain Cole, your fleet awaits. Across the stars, dormant machines, the old human war drones, satellite Ace, and automated ships long buried suddenly awoke. One by one, they aligned to his signal. An entire human armada emerged from silence. Ryan opened a comm channel. To all who still believe in truth, this is humanity, and we're taking back the stars. On the Galactic Union's central world, Panic spread like wildfire. Screens across the city filled with warnings. Multiple unknown fleets detected. Origin human. Council leader Sotrin Vale stood at the window of the high tower, eyes wide as the sky above turned red. It can't be, he whispered. He survived. Commander Rinvos entered the chamber. His tone was calm, almost respectful. You erased his world, Sotrin. Did you really think he'd stay buried forever? Sotrin turned sharply. You will fight him, Commander. You swore loyalty to the Union. Rin shook his head. Not anymore. The Union lied. He's not the monster you are. He threw down his badge and walked away. Outside, the first blast of the new war echoed through the heavens. The battle for the Union began. The Phoenix Dreadnought led the charge, followed by thousands of reactivated human warships. They moved with precision, guided by the collective mind of the human core. Ryan sat in the command chair, glowing with power, yet calm. Argo's familiar voice returned, now merged with the core. Captain, the Union fleets are deploying across 5 sectors. Ryan smirked. Then we divide their fear. The human fleet split into waves of light and fire, attacking from all directions. Union ships tried to fight back, but their systems failed. The Phoenix Code infected their networks, disabling their weapons. For every blast the Union fired, 100 came back at them. Lyra Quinn, now leading the rebel forces, watched from her ship's bridge. She whispered, "He's really doing it?" Her second-in-command turned to her. "Is he saving us, or destroying everything?" Lyra smiled sadly. "Maybe both." Deep inside the chaos, Ryan opened a private channel to the Union's command ship. Sotrin Vale's face appeared, full of fury and fear. "Human. You think you've won? You're just one ghost playing God." Ryan's voice was calm, steady as stone. "No, Vale. I'm not a god. I'm the reminder of what you tried to erase." He looked straight into the camera. "You wanted humanity gone because you feared our fire. But you never understood it's not our rage that defines us. It's our will." Sotrin screamed, "You'll burn with us," and fired the Vortex's final weapon, a Suncore cannon. The beam struck the Phoenix Dreadnought head-on. For a moment, everything went white. But then, the light changed. Ryan stood tall in the center of his ship, surrounded by the glow of millions of human souls. "Now," he whispered, "we rise." The ship absorbed the beam, turning its energy back into power. Ryan lifted his hand, and the Phoenix core unleashed its full strength. A wave of pure light erupted, neither explosion nor flame, but renewal. It spread across the battlefield, disarming weapons, shutting down engines, melting metal into dust. When the light faded, the war was over. The Union fleets were gone. The Council ships were powerless. No one had died, only their weapons had been erased. Ryan's ship hovered above the capital world, silent and shining. He opened the comm again, broadcasting to every planet, every species, every mind. "The age of control is over. You feared humans because we fought for freedom. Now you will remember why. We're not destroyers. We're survivors." He paused, his tone softer. "We lost our home, but not our heart. The stars belong to everyone if they have the courage to protect them." The screen faded to black. On the surface below, millions looked up at the sky in silence. Then, one by one, they began to cheer. Even alien voices shouted his name. Later, Ryan stood alone on the bridge. The ship was quiet now. The war was done. Lyra's voice came through the COMM. "Ryan, what will you do now?" He looked at the stars. "What humans always do, Lyra. Rebuild." He smiled faintly. "Maybe this time, we'll do it right." The Phoenix Dreadnought turned slowly toward deep space. Behind it, the galaxy healed worlds free from fear, people uniting under a new hope. Ryan Cole, the last human soldier, had become more than a man. He was a legend. Final voiceover. They thought one man couldn't change the stars. They thought humanity was gone. But as long as one human heart still beats, the fire will never die. Fade out. End of Part 5. The Reckoning.